Hello and welcome back to Backroads and Boondocks. Today we're going to hike the Hemlock Grove Trail at Pine Mountain State Park in Pineville, Kentucky. Along the way, we'll see some old growth trees that are 300 to 400 years old, and we'll visit an abandoned picnic area with its 90-year-old shelter. So if you're ready to go, why don't you come on along with me and let me show you around. Well, here we are at the beginning of today's adventure. Today we're going to hike the Hemlock Gardens Trail here at Pine Mountain State Park in Pineville, Kentucky. There are old growth trees down in this little valley, and this is one of the prettiest places I've ever seen. So if you're ready to go, come on, let's go explore. Well, we've come a little further down the trail and we've come across this bridge here. And it's crossing this little creek. It rained last night. I would have thought the water would have been running harder than this. But not only is this little creek here, this amazing rock face is overlooking this creek. That is absolutely beautiful. It is very peaceful here, and words just don't do this justice, quite honestly. Also, another reason to come down into this little valley is from my research, I've learned that there are some old growth trees in this area. They're between 300 and 400 years old. Most of them are hemlocks, but there are some oaks and poplar that are that old. I believe this is one of those right here in front of us. This thing is huge. Just think, that tree was here before the Revolution, way before Kentucky was a state. And it has managed to make it all these years. Well, very cool. There's some more path out ahead of us, so let's see what else we can see down through here. Well, we've come up the trailways, come to another bridge, and going over another creek. I imagine that's probably a fairly impressive waterfall when there's more water. Still very cool though. Runs up under the bridge here, and I want you to look at this. As you can see down this valley, there's been some storm damage. There's quite a few trees down through here. That one laying over there looks like it's fairly good sized. Must have had a bad storm through here a few months ago, I guess. Looks like all the limbs are dead on these trees already. There's another one of those big old rocks that's come down the hill. This is definitely a pretty place. But there's more trail out in front of us, so let's go on and look around. This is that big tree I was just pointing out in the distance that the storm had knocked over. Look at the size of this tree. I've got a tape measure on me. I want y'all to see this. Let's see. Yeah, that tree is just an inch short of being 3 foot across. So that was probably one of the old growth trees. That thing is ginormous. So this tree made it 300-400 years before a storm took it down. Wow. That is impressive. Just turn around here. And there's its stump on the hillside. You can see how it broke off. Man, it grew right on the edge of that rock. It's amazing how trees can put down roots in these rocks. Well, kind of sad that it's gone, but kind of cool to see it. So let's move on along. Well, here we are a little ways down from where that big tree was over. We've come across what appears to be an abandoned picnic area. There's a big grill, stone grill there, and one right here in front of me. And as you can see, this one has its steel doors and it still has its grate. And it has two metal things to hold those open for you. I think there's another one off here in the distance. Let's see if we can get where we can see it. Yeah, and there's one way off over there in the woods. from the size of the trees growing around in here, this has not been used for a long time. We're about probably, almost a half a mile from the parking lot. This would be a long way to carry food to cook out. But again, here they are. And I'm sure they were built in the 1930s by the CCC when the park was put together. Absolutely amazing. Well, we've come a short distance from those grills and found these steps. And they seem to go down. If you can see it there in the distance. So it looks like there's a shelter house down here lower. So this must have been a picnic area. Let's walk on down these steps and investigate this shelter house. Well, here we are a little closer to that shelter house, and you can see it a little better. But I noticed this as we were coming in. This must have definitely been a picnic area, because right here, you can see there used to be running water down here. Wow. And I don't know if you can see it over in the trees there, but there's another one of those grills. Let's walk on over that way, and then we'll go inside the shelter house and see what's inside the shelter house. Here's the little abandoned shelter house in the woods. This thing has been out here for 90 years. Some amazing rock work there. Look at the tree growing out of the roof. If they don't help this little building soon, it's not going to be here a whole lot longer. Let's walk on down inside. Yep, it's completely empty, but you can tell there was plenty of room for picnic tables at one time. Look at the woodwork. Wow, some huge beams. Looks like somebody managed to chip the rock in the fireplace. Looks like somebody's tried to start a fire here. Got a mantle and everything. I wonder if those chimneys are even still open. It has a matching fireplace over here, but this one's not been broken. Wow. Now we came in one of the side entrances. As you can see, it has 4 ways in and out. That's the back entrance. We'll go out that way in a minute. But let's go out front and have a look at this thing from the front. Here we are in front of the shelter building. As you can see, it's quite a long building. Unfortunately, we've got 2 trees growing up out of the roof on this side. Well, more than 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trees growing out of the roof on this side. I really hope they don't let this thing get destroyed. Also, too, right in front of us are a set of rock steps. Amazing. Well, let's walk on back through and see it from the other side. And this is the back side of that shelter house. But I want you to look at this tree. This must be another one of the old growth. Look how tall that tree is. Let me get up closer so you can see how big around it is. Thing has been here a very long time. Way before this shelter house was. All kinds of old carving on it, but I can't see any dates. It survived that. Please, if you come here, don't carve on this tree. Now let's turn around and look out this way. There's a little trail that comes out the backside, and then there's a little bench right there that overlooks this. Wow. That is beautiful. Now, I can hear water down there, but the rhododendron are so thick, I can't see anything down there. This would be a super peaceful place to sit, though. All right. Okay, well, let's walk back up through here because the trail goes out the other side of the shelter house here. So let's move on up the trail. And here are the steps on the other side of the shelter. We still have quite a ways to go on this trail, so I believe we're going to divide this up into 2 episodes. So I hope you enjoyed today's adventure. If you did, be sure to give us a like. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell button so you know when we put up new material. Thanks for coming along today, and don't forget to join us next time when we come back and do the rest of this trail. We'll see y'all next time.